Hello, and welcome to the Too Fated to Play podcast. I am one of your hosts, Eggs, and I'm here alongside my buddy, LSD.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How you been?
Slow motion.
Yeah.
Been getting some projects completed, played some games. Just kind of chilling around the house. Yeah.
I've been trying to slow down on playing some games because the end of this month, Final Fantasy comes out.
That is true.
And actually, I think when this episode goes up, it'll be like right before Final Fantasy comes out.
Okay.
Or it'll be right before or just after, one of the two. So if this comes out before February 29th, I haven't started yet, but if it's after, then just know that that's all I'm doing.
Fair enough.
I've taken a couple days off of work. Like I'm digging into this game. So I've kind of slowed down on games just to kind of give myself a little breather before this 100-hour game comes out.
I feel you. Got into a couple of games. I finished Hogwarts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that? I guess without spoiling it, is it a good ending or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I still got some stuff I can do. But like, you know, I got through pretty much the main story. And a few side missions, but I didn't get through all the side missions.
Okay.
And, you know, all the little other stuff that they had to do, the Merlin trials and all that stuff. I haven't got through that part. I did quite a bit of them, but I might have maybe 10 left or something like that. Jumped into the game that we're going to talk about today. That was short.
Yeah.
And opened up another game that I want us to play.
Okay.
So it won't be the next one, but the next one.
Okay.
Because we already got next one already picked.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I've been doing. Oh, and then working on a couple of my RC stuff. Finished one truck I've been building for 2 years.
Yeah, I saw you post those pictures on Instagram. They're damn good looking.
Yeah, it is detailed. It when you tap the remote, it actually starts up. It like spins, and then it starts up, and then there's like a vibrator thing, like a little wheel in there that vibrates the truck, so it emulates the truck moving. It got a horn, turn signals work, got a trailer.
You got a lot going on there.
Yeah, when you come to a complete stop, it lets out the air like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's another thing that you can put in it. I just ran out of money. You can actually put smoke that comes out of the smokestacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like a little fog machine or something?
Yeah, something like that, like a little fog smoke machine.
Okay.
And it comes out of the smokestacks. And the smokestacks is actually metal.
Oh, okay.
They're not plastic, they're steel.
I guess it would have to be if you're gonna run a smoke machine through it or something. But
You probably don't get hot though, but yeah.
Yeah, you never know. I guess I haven't messed with them enough to really know. So
Yeah, and then I made a trip to one of our video game stores, the one in Lex.
yeah.
Yeah, I went up there, chopped it up with the owner.
Okay.
And, looked around, see what he had. He had a Sega Master System in there. It was a nice price too. I would have jumped on it, but I was like, I ain't got the money right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to stay out of those stores, because I know I'm going to see something that I want. And this episode of this podcast is going to talk about some of the games that.
With the reasons why we can't afford some stuff.
Right. But yeah, let's get into our beer. I don't even know if you call it. Yeah, this is
It's an IPA, so yeah. Or
it's two I's.
IPA?
IPA.
Hazy double IPA.
Yeah.
Bursting with tropical and citrus flavors.
This is from Sweetwater Brewing Company. Gummies Tropical IPA. Check that out.
9.5%. That's not bad.
9.5. That's going to fuck you up.
Well, let's see.
All right. Ain't no stories on there?
Not that I see. It says something from the Brewers of 420 Atlanta, Georgia. So that must be where they're out.
Okay.
Out of.
All right. Shout out to 420. Let's see what it do.
That's a weird mix of flavor.
Ain't it?
That's really weird.
It's like
You get the heavy like grapefruity from the IPA,
Yeah.
and then it tastes like they melted a gummy inside of it.
It's like candy or something.
Yeah. It's a really weird. It's like they straight up just took a gummy bear and melted it inside of the can. Like
I think it is. Like, wow.
that's a really weird mix.
It's like when you first drink it, you get the haze of the citrus, but then on the back end, it's like sweet.
Yeah, it leaves your tongue feeling like you just ate a gummy.
Yeah. Wow.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I don't hate it. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but
it's different. It's very weird.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. Huh.
I kind of expected like a sweet IPA. Maybe like a fruity flavor in there that wasn't the citrus.
I didn't even think that. I thought it was going to taste like any other IPA.
Yeah.
That was just the name gummies or whatever. But that is weird.
It's deserving of the name gummies. Yeah. It's very gummy.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if I'd buy it again. Personally.
They had another one too. I forget what it was called. But this one, it's that back end taste that like really kind of throws me off. So, yeah. We'll see how I feel. Maybe it'll grow on me a little bit more.
I like it enough I can say I'll finish the can.
Okay.
I don't know if I would buy this one specifically myself.
It wasn't bad though. Both of these was like $5.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, especially for something that's a 9.5.
Yeah. So what, $2.50 each or?
Yeah, it was like $2.30, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
Yeah, if you want to get ripped, this'll do it. It's the back end though.
Yeah, no, it tastes like an IPA up front, and then you just get hit with that gummy.
Right.
It's all I can say is it's weird.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad, but it's very different.
Yeah. That different is the word. It's
a good choice though. I kind of want this podcast to be trying a bunch of different things and weird things, as I'm sure you've kind of figured out from my picks, like the pickle beer and the Eggo sipping cream, and like I see this podcast as a way for me to go, that looks weird. I want to try it, but I don't want to be alone in trying it.
Yeah, you don't want to get sick alone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's some bullshit. I'm still sitting on that pickle beer.
Yeah.
Every time I open up my refrigerator, they still sitting right there at the bottom.
I'll make you a Reuben.
I'm going to have to. That's the only way I'm going to drink that beer. If I go get like a Reuben or corned beef or something.
What if you used it in something like cooking? Like I know people do like beer brats.
Yeah.
Where you cook, like a brats inside of like a normal beer.
That's true.
What if you could do something with that?
I'm trying to see what it'll pair with though.
Yeah, it had to be something that's wanting of a pickle flavor, but
you do like chicken or something.
Yeah, good Chick-fil-A style with that
pickle flavor. Yeah, that's probably a good fucking idea. I might use that.
Or let me know if you do. I want to try some.
You might be able to make it with like like a sauce or something. Like probably like a like the pretzels that got the cheese, the beer cheese.
Yeah, the beer cheese.
Yeah, with a little hint of pickle, and that
wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, it might be all right. You're onto something here. You're fucking onto something. Yeah.
Basically, I just don't want you being like, I can't get these down, take them back.
You trying to get me to keep them. That's why you had them. Here, take mine. Because we usually divvy up our beers at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll buy like a 6-pack and we'll each drink one, and then the other 2 we split.
Yeah.
They take them home with each other, but like... Yeah, no, on the pickle beer one, I was like, yeah, no, you can just take mine. No need to break open the packaging more. Just take it with you.
Don't split the orphans up. Keep the band together. You son of a bitch. Gummies.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Mm-hmm. It's the back end that throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it wasn't so heavy on the back end, I think I would like it more.
Yeah. Because it's a very weird dichotomy, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like the IPA is just a good tasting IPA.
Right.
And then the gummy part tastes like a good gummy.
Right.
But when you throw them together and like in one swig, you get hit heavy with the IPA and then you get hit heavy with the gummy.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird...
This is a weird marriage right here.
Yeah.
This is a weird marriage right here. Shout out to Sweetwater, man. I'm going to give y'all another shot with the other one that I saw. But this one right here... man.
Like I said, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just not really for me. If you're a fan of gummies, you'll probably like this.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It smells like a gummy too. Got like a little fruit smell to it too.
Yeah, there's a little fruity smell into it.
Yeah. Well, enough about this. Let's go ahead and get into our game.
Yes.
So this week we played The King of Route 66.
Yep. That was a game I went into one of the used game stores, and it was my first time going to this place, and I was just looking around, and you know me, I'm always looking for the weird ones.
Yeah.
And I picked up a couple games. One of them was called 8-Bit Heroes, which is a really weird game that I'll have to show you at some point. And this one I saw sitting on the shelf, and I just saw the cover, and I was like, that looks like it's either going to be a really weird game or a strangely good game, or it's just something. And I was like, there's something in that box. I see that box. There's something about it. So I picked it up. I read the back, and I was just immediately like, yeah, I'm buying this.
And to be fair, I would have bought this game too. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's like a kind of like an arcade style game. And in my opinion, the fucking game constantly cheats.
Oh, yeah.
This game cheats the whole time you're playing it.
It's a fucking difficult game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like, that first race, like, the dude was just in front of me the whole time. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there like, how can you get past this dude? Because you got to make, like, you know, the trucks don't handle well going in the corners.
They handle like a truck, a semi.
No, they handle worse than the truck.
I think maybe we should just explain the game a little bit before we get into it. So it is a Sega arcade game where you race semi-trucks. You've got to pick up a load, and you've got to drive it to another destination while racing another truck trying to beat you there.
Well, hold on. It's really, you're a trucker, and there's a gang, trucker gang, what they call the Tornado.
Yeah.
Tornado, something like that. And they're basically dominating the trucking world right now. Mm-hmm. So they're taking everybody's loads. Ain't nobody getting no money. And the way this game is set up is you're this lone trucker. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're working with this dispatcher and they're trying to get some loads. But every time you get a load, Tornado's going to try to take your load or stop you from delivering the load.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the game cheats like a motherfucker.
It does. I'll be honest, I put it on easy to get through some levels.
Dude, I had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was playing on normal at first, and I'm like, what?
I think I beat the first 2 missions, and then I was just like, nah, fuck this. It's going on easy mode.
Yeah. That first mission is like it's kind of like if you look at like a map or something, it looks like a 5 or something. Mm-hmm. Like if you're looking down, it look like a 5. You got to make one sharp turn, and while he's in front of you, he's throwing like barrels out the back of the semi truck. So
you're in a semi truck trying to weave around barrels and stuff.
And then the nitro takes forever to power up. When you hit nitro, it's just like, get ready, and then fucking flames shoot out the smokestack. You're going in super pursuit mode.
And then you can't turn at all.
Then you can't turn.
Yeah.
You can only do that on straightaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you hit something, then you get hung up on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, it was brutal.
I like the backup mini game where you gotta get the load and you just gotta like floor it as fast, just slam on the brakes and try not to damage the load.
The first time I got it perfect. Uh-huh. The second time I fucked that trailer up. This game is very stereotypical.
Yes, it's very.
Oh my God. Like
It's a little.
this game would not fly
No.
today.
No.
The white guy, he's like
the Texan.
Texan.
I'm a cowboy.
right, big hat, Texan. Then you got the chick, she like this fucking bimbo, with Daisy Dukes on. Then
Yep.
you got the black guy. Like the black guy I was sitting there like, really? He got this big fucking afro, 70s clothes on and bell bottoms. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. It was because they have them all listed in here. And I remember going through, I went through it with King Buns, and we're both sitting there like, whoa. Because they hit on some stereotypes.
Oh yeah. The one guy, he's the Asian guy.
Ichiban.
Oh man. I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so racist.
Yeah.
That's so racist.
Yeah.
It was like the most racist thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
That's the one that got King Buns and I as we were going through them. We're like, yeah, the black guy's a little. His name is Soul Man too.
Soul Man.
Yeah, we're like, that's a little messed up. And then there's the Indian guy, Iron Bowl.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Indian dude.
And then then it goes over to the Asian guy, and we're both like, whoa.
Right.
Yeah, Ichiban is from Japan. He doesn't enjoy hanging out with other truckers. He prefers to spend his time practicing martial arts. It's like so stereotypical.
Yeah, like it's pretty stereotypical. It's quick. It's a very fast game. I think I got through it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's not a long game at all. Did you do any of the Queen of the Route 66 mode?
No, I just did King, and I saw like the other one was kind of like co-op. Mm-hmm. I didn't play those.
Well, it's when Queen of Route 66 mode is you have to do races against other truckers to pick up like Miss Mississippi, Miss Orlando. Like you're trying to yeah.
Oh my god! So
what was it? What was the get your chicks on Route 66? Customize your big rig to satisfy their every demand. It's like, and like the game mode is while you're driving, you have to swerve around and pick up like rings and jewelry and stuff to give to them to impress them. It's so bad.
Oh man, get the fuck out of here! I didn't even play that part. I just did the King because I figured like it was all kind of the same, but I didn't know the Queen was different.
The Queen's mostly the same. Like it's the same tracks, the same routes, and you're still racing against other people or another truck. But yeah, instead of trying to get to the load, you're trying to pick up chicks.
Oh, you're trying to get a load.
You're trying to get a load. Trying to get a load out.
Oh man, that's fucking funny. It was something that I wanted to touch on in this game. Who did you drive with?
Just the regular Texan guy, whatever his name was.
I started with the black guy first, and like his truck just handled like shit.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing with the female. And her truck, her truck handled a whole lot better. She had the cab over, pink cab over.
Yeah, because it does the arcade thing where it's like each truck has slightly different stats. So one's a little faster and top speed, one handles better, one, takes less damage and stuff like that. So
yeah, the last level where you racing against that other female trucker, and there's nothing but curves. Like that level is impossible.
Yeah,
you have to get out in front of her first and just like don't let her get around you.
Would be honest, I didn't beat that level.
Yeah,
I gave up.
Yeah,
because this game it's very arcadey. Like it feels like an arcade game. Like you feel like you could go to an arcade and find this and it would fit in.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it feels like it's trying to grind quarters out of you by just constantly beating you in the races.
Oh yeah, you spending $90 in quarters on this game. It was okay. It was fun.
I think it's got a lot of charm, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's funny to watch.
It's hilarious.
It's like, yeah, like it's funny to watch. I wouldn't recommend playing it.
This is more of a conversation piece. I actually I couldn't play it on my TV. I had to put it in, was it 4.3, 4.6? Just to play it because it was going across the whole screen and I couldn't see.
Yeah.
So when I dropped it down, I was like, okay, this is 100% better.
Yeah.
But I'm ranking it pretty low.
Me too.
This is probably going to be my last.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, like, I know on my list, I'm pretty sure Cathedral's my lowest.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather play Cathedral.
Yeah.
Because there's, like I said, there's a lot of interesting stuff, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just me sitting there watching a friend play the game, I think I'd enjoy the game a lot more than I do.
I mean, it's probably fun when you, like, playing like 2-player with somebody else, kind of just like dicking around. But like,
I could see it being fun in a situation where you've got like a group of people over and you're all just fucking drunk and want to, like, if you lose the race, you pass the controller.
Yeah.
You're all just like, there's like 4 or 5 of you.
Yeah, like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Having like a tournament or something, just digging around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it being a lot of fun in that scenario, but really only that scenario.
Yeah, by yourself, it's not a good game. I mean, it's a cool looking case, and I will probably buy it just to have it for my collection. That's really all.
That's kind of why I bought it. I was like, even if it's a bad game, it's a weird one. I've never heard of this game before now. I want it in my collection.
I'll give you that. All right, so to our list. We both said it our last.
Yep.
So go ahead and read it off, sir.
So on my side, Egg side, we've got Sphinx, Super Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2, Returnal, Jet Set Radio, Cathedral, and King of Route 66. On LSD side, we've got Returnal, Super Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2, Sphinx, Cathedral, Jet Set Radio, and King of Route 66.
All right. That is the Cartridge Club. So I picked this one up today. I was in Fort Mills earlier today. Kid had a competition up there. So went up there, and on my way back, I stopped at this liquor store. And let me tell you about the liquor store. It's a liquor store that's big but don't have anything in it.
Okay.
So when you walk in, it's basically the perimeter of the store. Got bottles, around the perimeter. And then there's like 2 aisles. But the store's huge. You can have way more stuff in there. And he didn't have like a huge inventory. So like when you go in there, instead of it being maybe 10, 20 bottles or whatever, it's a bottle.
Okay. 2
bottles, So I was in there for a good while because I'm sitting there like, I want to try something that we haven't had. I didn't want to get, something that, people heard of because it was leaning that way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, I'm going to keep looking. So I ended up finding this Appleton Estate Signature Jamaican rum.
Okay.
God damn. It says our estates. Oh, I can't even see that shit. I need some glasses.
Wow, this is small. Our estate's storied history and commitment to expressing Jamaica's unique terror is embodied in our signature rum blend. So,
I don't know. I kind of like rum, but I was like, man, I hope this don't taste like Kraken.
Yeah.
We had that Kraken that one time. I was like, I did not like that.
Yeah, the Kraken was super sweet.
Yeah.
Like, sweeter than most rum.
Yeah, it was sweeter than what I thought. Got a interesting smell. I'm gonna pour up though.
Oh wow, that
smells strong.
Some paint remover there.
Yeah, man, this might take the oil up out your driveway.
It smells, based on the smell, I'm gonna say it's not gonna be very smooth.
I'm gonna say that too. It shit smell like turpentine. What?
All right.
Go ahead.
Ugh. That doesn't taste like rum to me.
It doesn't.
I don't know what it tastes like though. Like I want to say it's closer to a whiskey, but it's really not.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan.
You got to cut this.
Yeah.
You definitely need a Coke. You got a Coke?
I got the knockoff Coke.
Shit, go get that. I'm not a fan to drink it straight. And normally I could drink a lot of shit straight. Mm-hmm. This ain't one of them. And we're going to go ahead and cut this.
Yeah, because it wasn't smooth. There was a lot of burn.
Good.
It didn't taste bad, I'd say, but it didn't have much taste.
100% better.
That's palatable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, this is borderline Malort.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, it didn't taste good, but it didn't make me want to throw up.
Y'all just a step up from Malort.
What do you think you liked more, the Indian stuff or this?
Ooh. We didn't cut the Indian stuff, though.
We didn't cut the Indian, no.
We should have ran it through the Brita.
We really should have.
We should have ran it through the Brita. It might taste better if you run it through the Brita.
The Brita at least makes things smooth and, like, tones down the burn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really makes things taste better as far as flavor, but it smooths it and tones it down just a little.
Well, since we passed this part, let's get into the main topic.
Yep.
Expensive games.
Fucking expensive games.
Dude, I went down this rabbit hole and, we kind of split it off because there's so many games out there. We kind of split it off like we're just going to do two companies. Mm-hmm. And, even when I did that, I was getting like normal stuff like Super Mario Brothers unopened, graded, $2 million.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to try to do something else because, unopened, graded, that's a whole nother monster right there.
Oh, yeah, no. I tried to stay away from, like, a lot of what was on my side, which I guess for the audience, I have Sony and Xbox. Mm-hmm. And LSD has Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Sony side, at least, a lot of the big high-priced items were like collector's editions, like the things that came with a mask or something.
Right.
And those are cool, but that's not what most people are buying.
Right.
Or at least want. So I kind of stepped away from those and went to just like, if you want just the case with the disc and a manual, how much is that? That's kind of what I was looking at for my list.
You got that far. Shit, some of mine didn't even come with a fucking case. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just the cartridge.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because when I went down that rabbit hole, I think it was just recently, somebody had a Super Mario Brothers 64. Mm-hmm. And I guess they found it in their attic or whatever. And they got it graded. And they graded at like a 9.8, which is high.
So that's a high number, yeah. Because 10 is max.
Yeah, 10 is max. So when they graded at a 9.8, they auctioned it off, and I think it hit $2 million.
I believe it.
$2 million. That's insane. Just to even have that type of money, just to spend on one video game. Mm-hmm. I think I can probably build up a collection with fucking $50,000 easy.
Yeah.
But $2 million for one?
Mm-mm.
God.
That's why I stay away from the graded stuff personally. Because, like, in my way of collecting, I want to play the games. Right. To me, a graded game is fucking useless. It's worthless. Now that you've sealed a game into a plastic case that you can break it out, but you're not really supposed to, you lose that value. once you've sealed the game, it's useless. It's not a game anymore to me. It's a
Yeah.
it's a picture.
It's art.
Yeah.
At that point, it's art, and it's more of a conversation piece.
Yeah.
You know,
Which isn't what a game should be, in my opinion. I think a game should be played.
that's just basically just having like a bad bitch you can't fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, look what I have. Tits, ass, face, hair, bad.
Can't touch it.
That's hilarious. Oh,
She tries to stab me every time I get close,
right.
but I
But
can look at her.
she's mine. She gets to stay here, sitting on the shelf. Yeah, fuck
I pay for her every month.
that. Right. Get insurance and shit. All right, so who you want to get it started first, or you want me to go?
I can go first, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I kind of just went down the list of systems that Sony and Xbox have put out. And this one kind of surprised me. I didn't expect this. For PlayStation 1, the most expensive game that you can get that isn't like some super weird bundle or something was... Well, I guess when you had a PlayStation 1 back in the day, did you ever play Mortal Kombat?
I can't recall.
Can't recall. Because specifically Mortal Kombat 3, when that game came out, it came out early in the PlayStation 1's life cycle. And it came in that big fucking
The long box.
giant long box.
Yeah, the long box.
Right near the end of the production, they switched it to a jewel case, which is the typical one you see.
Yes.
And that version of the game is so rare that if you can get one of those complete in-box, manual box game, $1,106. If it's sealed, $2,876. And that's for Mortal Kombat 3.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Mine is up there.
Oh yeah, no, you got the high priced ones.
Oh, you talking about shit. Psh, one game. One is break your pockets, man.
Everything I have written on here would break my pockets.
Yeah, our pockets.
Yeah.
But these, you got to put a mortgage or something.
Yeah.
Sell a kid, maybe a kidney, maybe.
Yeah.
These games are expensive. There's actually I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it's a documentary that I saw on Amazon where the guys, oh shit, guys were going around trying to collect every single NES game, and they pretty much had to go all over the country to get every single NES game.
Yeah.
I think it was like in 30 days.
Yeah, so it was like a time limit thing.
Yeah.
Which is why they were traveling.
Right. It was interesting to see, but my money ain't long enough. My list, I'm gonna start with the Nintendo, and really, these are kind of two, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit.
Yeah.
But because I can go back into the list, but these was like the top two.
Yeah.
So if you're from my age or whatever, have you ever seen the movie The Wizard?
I've not.
With Fred Savage, a young Fred Savage.
I have not.
Okay, so The Wizard was basically a movie about a kid going to Los Angeles to play in the Nintendo tournament.
Okay.
So that was basically the first time you seen Super Mario Brothers 3 was on that movie.
Oh, like it was in the movie before it was like
in the
released?
movie before it was released.
Oh, okay.
So me as a kid, I might have been 10 years old. So me as a kid going to the movies to see The Wizard for the first time, and they put that on the screen, it just blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh shit, that's the new Super Mario Brothers.
That's not the Mario I know.
Right. So, it was Super Mario Brothers 3. I ain't gonna never forget it. So this basically was kind of the game that they used for those championships. So in 1990, Nintendo had the Nintendo World Championship. So people would come from around the world or whatever, and they would play in these tournaments. And they had it was a cartridge, but it only had like 3 games in it. So it was like Super Mario Brothers, Rad Racer. I can't think of the other game, but you had to do it kind of like you competing against a bunch of other kids doing it like in the speed trial, what people do now. Mm-hmm. So you want to get the highest score to win the tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a game that was sold, but the people who were there to attend it, they was able to get a copy. So I think it's only 65 of them.
Okay.
In the world, and they had 2 of them.
Okay.
If you had the Nintendo World Championship Gold Edition, which looks like the Legend of Zelda, the gold copy.
Yeah.
It runs from anywhere from 25,000 to 100,000.
Damn.
Right. So,
like, I knew they were expensive because I think anybody who's in like the gaming scene has heard that these championship copies go for big money, but I don't think I've ever heard the exact amount, and that's pretty fucking expensive.
So, but they had another one. I think the people who won or whatever got the gold copy. But the runner-ups got the gray copy, which is still crazy because there's not a lot of them. So even if you got the gray cartridge, it's 13,000 or 25,000.
Yep.
But they have been auctioned off. Like there's one that the highest price gold cartridge has been on eBay and set for $275,000.
Jesus. You could buy 2 of the house we're sitting in for that.
2 shit, mine and yours.
Yeah.
It's crazy. $275,000, and that's a holy grail.
Yeah. That's like collector's wet dream.
Right.
kind of find.
You know who got that? I bet you that guy got it.
The one where it had that just a whole house dedicated to games.
Hey, Eggs told me this video about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a little while ago.
This guy had
a second house and just dedicated to video games.
Yeah. It was like you had a room full of NES, fucking 64. He had an arcade room.
Yeah, he had a whole, I think it was like the living room of the house was just arcade machines. He had, one of the bedrooms was dedicated to old game consoles. So it had like your NES, SNES, 64, anything that wasn't HD. And one of the other bedrooms in the house was all just HD consoles. And then another bedroom in the house was all just HD console games. And then another bedroom in the house was all just old PC big box games. And then it was like the kitchen or something was just all the Sega games and Nintendo. It was insane.
He had he had to have every game, every system, boxes, unboxed, sealed, unsealed. Like he had everything.
Yeah.
Like he had an impressive collection. Was he out of, was he Australian?
I don't remember. I don't remember that. I just remember seeing a guy who had an entire house, a second mortgage for video games. I was a bit jealous.
Yeah.
I was a bit jealous.
But, yeah, so I kind of combined those two together. Because
they're kind of the same thing in a way.
They're the same thing, but just different a little bit. So even if you was to find one, like
either or is a big payday.
Right, big payday. I mean, it could probably be damaged a little bit. You probably still get about 5,000 out of it.
Yeah, no, like I'm a collector and I don't sell my games. If I walked across one of those and found it, I'd probably put that thing up for sale immediately. Just because I want that money. I know you're trying to get all of the NES games.
Yeah, that's just one of those cases where you just got a bad bitch you can't fuck.
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to. That's all it is. I don't want to put no mileage on this car. So you got a girl, you just want to fuck her a couple times a year? All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and just get through the Xbox because Xbox has nothing. Like genuinely, Xbox has nothing. There's a few specific editions of the console that is like hand signed by Steve Jobs or something, and it's like those go for a couple thousand. But as far as the games go, there's really nothing that's like crazy. The OG Xbox, it has a game that you and I are both very familiar with. Steel Battalion.
Yep.
If you can find that game in the box with that controller, that big ass cool fucking controller that I really want, if you can find that sealed, that's $1,500.
Just the controller.
Just for the controller and the game, because the game came with that.
Oh, okay.
And if it's sealed, it's expensive. And the other one, this kind of made me laugh. This is also original Xbox. Shrek Super Party. The Watch Bundle. It was a Mario Party, I guess, like Shrek game. And in that box, there was a Shrek watch. And if you have that sealed, that's also $100 or $1,500. But that is everything on the Xbox side. The next closest thing I could find was on 360. There's a game, 360. There is Madden 09. There's a very specific version that came with a slip cover over the game to support breast cancer awareness. And that goes for like $357.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but like outside of those two games on Xbox, there's really nothing. Like everything on Xbox One or Xbox Series X was just special edition consoles, was like the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
Then outside of that, it was nothing. So Xbox got to step their game up.
I agree with that. I've been saying that for a long time. Xbox need to step their game up. Like PlayStation is just beating the shit out of them. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like Xbox, okay, but I really only have an Xbox because my friends have Xboxes, and I play with them online. Most of my friends have Xboxes. I play with all of them online. You're the only person I know who has a PlayStation that I play with online. Outside of that, none of my friends have Switches or PlayStation. That's it.
Yeah. Like I like the original Xbox because it was like, when it came out, it was really cool. It was a step up from the PlayStation 2. Like even graphically, it looks a little better. It was so cool that you could put your music onto it and listen to your own music while playing certain games. Like stuff like that was really cool. You could go online with that system easy.
But you know, like when the original Xbox came out, I didn't get one because I didn't like the controller.
Yeah, the Duke.
Yeah, I didn't
Duke
like it.
Controller.
My buddies had Xbox. I was a PlayStation dude to the end. The very first time I got an Xbox was a 360. And I had it was a black 360. I don't know if it was a Pro, but I just know it was black. I got like the top of the line that was out for that time. That was the first Xbox I've had. I didn't get an Xbox, the first Xbox, until later on when I became a collector. I wasn't just a gamer then. Like now I'm collecting. So.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I like the original Xbox. I just like that whole generation in general. The PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, Xbox.
Yeah.
I like that whole generation. And the 360 is cool. A couple of my friends had the 360, and that's how I played it. But past the 360, I honestly couldn't really care for the Xbox.
Yeah.
The One and the S or the One and the X are both good systems, but I just don't really care.
Yeah. All right. You know, I got it.
Yeah.
So, all right. This one is kind of the same as the first two that I mentioned on NES, but this one was called it was the 1991 Nintendo Campus Challenge.
Okay.
Basically kind of a tournament still type of a game. It had a few games on it, and what you had to do, players had to attempt to get the most points on 3 of the games that were on this cartridge. So it was 3 games on one cartridge. I think it was Super Mario Brothers 3, Pinbot, and Dr. Mario.
Okay.
So people had to get the most points to win this tournament or whatever. Which is crazy because if you have that game, they start at 13,000 to 21,000.
Sheesh.
Right. But what was crazy about this one particular game, so they had this big event, maybe Vegas, LA, or whatever. Mm-hmm. What was crazy about this game was after the event, all the games were supposed to be destroyed.
Okay.
Crazy thing is, one of them came up.
Slipped out.
So one of them was found at an Nintendo employee's garage sale in 2006. Up until 2006, it was hard to pin down the value of the cartridge, and none has really surfaced on the marketplace. So after that year, the cartridge was sold privately to a collector in New York for $14,000.
Okay.
Later, it was resold on eBay for $20,000. So we already know where this is going with it.
Yeah.
So that's right now. That's probably the only one.
Yeah.
In existence.
And what year was that resale?
2006.
Okay. No, so that was the first sale.
That's when it resurfaced. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really say when it was sold.
I would be curious to know when that first resale was, the 20,000 one.
Yeah.
Because if that happened in like 2014, then that would make this like a $200,000 game in like today's.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up on GameEye because it might come up.
Because like between 2014 and now, games have skyrocketed in price.
So there's two. One was 91 to 92. If you got the 92 version, which was for the SNES, it's $4,000.
Okay.
The one from 1991 on here is listed at 17.
Okay.
But dude bought it at 20.
So then, if there's only the one copy, then it's 20.
Right. But if you put it in an auction place like Sotheby's or something like that, that probably could reach $1 million.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
You playing with big money over there.
Oh, yeah.
Big money.
Yes.
Oh, man. That's funny.
So when I was going through these, I went and looked up PS4. Like, what's the biggest one on PS4? And I honestly didn't expect anything on PS4. Because there's, like, always a weird curve with games that when the system first goes down, or it stops being something, everything is like $30. So I was like, there's probably a few games that are somewhat rare that are like $100. But normally there's nothing high. Boy, was I surprised when I found a game called Poop Slinger. For the PS4, it is a physical game made by an indie studio. And you can still download this game, like it's still up digitally. But they went all out, I guess, trying to make a physical version of this game themselves, and it bankrupted their studio and shut them down. So they no longer exist. A total of 84 copies sold.
Really?
There's only 84 copies of this game in the world. So if you can find this game, it is $3,011. For a game called Poop Slinger.
That's one of those games. It's just a collection piece, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if you got like, was that unsealed or open?
That was open. Sealed, it is 2,982. So it might as well be the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's something. That's just something that somebody want for their collection.
Yeah.
Because nobody never heard of it.
That's the 84 people in the world that will have a complete PS4 collection. You know.
And you know what's really funny though? Just think of all the people who just threw away games. You got sick of it, you threw it away. You got sick of it, you sold it at a yard sale or gave it to the Goodwill. And it's just out in the world somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? Some people collect them, some people just got rid of them, you know?
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Well, there's like, specifically, there's a game on the PS3 that I have, and it is Spyro the Dragon, Dawn of a New Dragon or something like that. It was released on PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, PS3, Wii. Like, it was released on everything. And if you buy it on any of those any of those consoles, it's like a $20 game. But if you buy it on PS3 specifically, which is the version I have, it's a $90 game.
That's still good.
Because on PS3, for some reason, it only sold 100,000 copies.
That's low.
And who knows how many have been just thrown out and trashed.
Yeah.
Because it's just a Spyro game. Like
kid just stepped on it, cracked it.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like that one game on that one console is worth a lot more than the other consoles just because it sold low. You don't know how many got destroyed. Like,
and it just kind of makes me sad a little bit because you'd be like, damn, I might have had that game, or I might have rented that game from like Blockbuster or something.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just took it back and, you know, when Blockbusters closed, you know, they just sold all those games to like, you know,
yeah, for
liquidate
cheap.
their store. Yeah, real cheap.
Come in $5, get you 5 games.
Yeah. When Blockbusters closed in Cleveland, I actually hit them up, and they were selling like Blu-rays for like $1.
Yeah.
And video games for like $2. And I went in there, I think I spent like $200.
Yeah, I know there's one specific Pokemon game that it's a Pokemon Explorers of Sky on the DS. I went into, it was Game Crazy. I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't ring a bell.
They were a competitor to GameStop, and they shut down in like 2008, 2009, something like that. They didn't last too long. I went in there and I bought that game for $5 because they were shutting down.
Yeah.
That game is now $120, and I have no fucking clue where the game is. I knew I never sold the game. I know that.
Yeah.
But I have no clue where the game is. It got lost in a box somewhere during a move somewhere sometime.
Just hurts your soul.
And it's just like, yeah, I paid $5 for that game, and now because I wanted to play it again. I was like, that was a fun game. I looked it up, $120. I was like, nope.
That's crazy. Which I'm gonna end. After I go through my Sega list, I'm gonna end with one that I found that was a pleasant surprise for me.
For you.
For me. But Sega, you know, everybody played this game. Everybody in the world played this game. Tetris.
Tetris, yep.
Which is funny because I didn't know that Tetris is really a Nintendo exclusive.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess I've never thought about it like that.
But so Tetris, when Tetris was coming out, Sega was trying to get the rights. But Nintendo pretty much bullied them out of the exclusive rights.
Sounds like Nintendo.
Yeah. So there's only 10.
10.
Like they never hit the shelves. They was just like in some boardroom. There's only 10 in the world. $16,000.
Jeez.
Or $30,000.
And that's for the Master System, or?
The Master, no, that's for the Sega Master Drive, Mega Drive.
Mega Drive, okay.
Yeah. So you already know, it's 10 people. They're probably some old person in Dubai who got it in the vault.
Probably.
Or some fucking Russian billionaire or whatever. They probably have it, you know, like there's 10 of them in the world. So just imagine you find something like that at the Goodwill and you be like, holy shit, that's Tetris, you know, and they got $2 on it and you already know that number. That shit for sale. I'm not keeping that. That shit's for sale.
Yeah, no. If I came across a game that I knew was worth more than $2,000, I'd probably just put that thing right up for
shit,
sale.
You already know. When I came up on them comic books, if that game was in that house,
yeah,
I would have been eating.
Yeah,
eating. Like that's crazy. But what's crazy is because from what I've read, the 10 copies that are around, they actually were smuggled out.
Oh, really?
So they were supposed to be destroyed. But I guess the crew at the time was working on that game for the Sega Mega Drive or whatever. They took them. They pocketed them. See, that's the key right there.
That's the 10 people who have it. Well, it's probably like 8 people have it, and 2 of them sold for that.
They probably took them home. They might be on their shelf or whatever. But it's only 10. Like, that's insane.
So my next one, this one's not a game, but I found it very interesting. So I wanted to talk about it. If I say the words "the Hilton family," what's that make you think of?
Paris Hilton.
Fair enough. So this involves the Hilton hotels.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah. The PSP had a training video put on a UMD, the little discs, to train the workers of the Hilton Hotel.
On purpose.
Yeah. That was like their training video.
Interesting.
They were supposed to all be destroyed afterwards, and nobody knows the exact number that made it out alive. But for the PSP, you can get one for $3,948. And that's just the CD. That there's no cases, there's no manuals. That's just a little disc. $3,948. And it's all it is a training video.
Just how to fold.
Just how to fold towels and how to greet somebody, you know? Like,
fold down your bed, tuck the edges of the bed.
It's called the Hilton family. Nobody knows how many copies made it out. Nobody knows how they even made them out. Probably some, employee just pocketed it or something. But I thought that was extremely interesting because I know, like, on the DS, there's something similar, and I don't know if you got into the DS at all.
Not much. I have DS, but not a lot.
But there's also a training video thing for the DS that's similar. Do you have it on the list of a training video thing for the DS?
I do not.
Okay. There's a McDonald's training video for the DS that's out there.
McDonald's.
And I think it's only like 4 copies people know of.
I got a homegirl that works at McDonald's.
I doubt it's still there.
I mean, she's been there a long time.
Maybe she took it. I don't know. Then
I'm about to shoot her a text like, "Hey, did you ever have to? Is it laying around? If it is, let me get that."
Because if she has it, it's one of those games like there's 4 copies out there and no one actually knows what it's worth because the people who have had the copies, I think only one has ever been sold. And it's on YouTube. There was a guy named Nick something. He did a whole video about him buying the copy, going through what's involved in it. Like, it teaches you the steps of making the burgers and stuff. And then he, like, uploaded the whole game online so you can download it and play it on an emulator.
Bread, meat, onions, ketchup.
Half a pump of ketchup. Either way, that's kind of in the same line, but still $4,000 for Hilton training video.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I. I had no clue.
Yeah. That's the one thing about this podcast is cool because we get to look up shit that, like, we never would have known.
Yeah.
Until we look it up.
That's kind of what I like doing about it, is it kind of puts us in a position where we get to learn stuff because we have to, we put ourselves in a position where we have to look stuff up. So we get to learn new things about the gaming world, and we get to try new drinks and figure out what we like and don't like.
Right.
Because I would have never tried this Gummy Tropic double IPA.
Oh, never. That shit would have set in the store.
Yeah. And I never would have tried the Eggo thing to find out I love that shit.
That is delicious. That shit is delicious. Shout out to Eggo. That shit delicious, man. which kind of, brings it back to, things I never learned before because I didn't know. I always said, like, when our last episode, it was make it move, get up and move. I didn't know that Sega had a move game. This is called Outback Joey.
Outback Joey.
Yes.
Sounds Australian.
Yes. So before the Wii Fit, this was a fitness training motivation video game called Outback Joey. If you could find the game open, they're about $2,000.
Okay.
Sealed, $8,000.
Yeah.
And it was a game. It was basically you had to control the heartbeat and the motion speed of Joey, the kangaroo of the game. The game was only bundled with a heartbeat personal trainer. You had to have a special controller to play the game. You couldn't play it without this special controller.
What system was it?
This is the Sega Mega Drive console.
Okay, so that was early.
Yeah.
A motion game early in Sega. Yeah.
So you had to have this special controller just to play the game. And it was only sold with the controller. And from what it says, there was only 1,000 units made, which makes the game extremely rare.
It's very rare.
Right. Like 1,000 units, which is crazy. Like even just like if the game has the manual, the box, you can get $8,000. No, $2,500.
Okay.
So just you probably get maybe $1,000 or maybe $1,500 just for the game. Mm-hmm. But with everything, the controller, everything, you probably put about $5,000 in.
Yeah.
Easy. And it was a game I've never seen.
I'd be really interested to play it, just to see what movement was like on, because I believe, and I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure the Mega Drive was what the Genesis was called in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be curious to see what like a movement game would be on the Genesis. You know,
it'll definitely be interesting to see.
Because it's surely no track and field. It sounds like it would be something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
So the last one is for the PlayStation Vita.
I never got the Vita. I wanted one, but when I went to go get them, they stopped making them. So I couldn't find them.
The PlayStation Vita was such a good handheld console.
I know.
And then Sony just stopped supporting it.
I know. My homeboy had one. And I played it. And I was like, man, this is fucking fun.
It's fucking dual analog stick.
Yeah.
It's good graphics. Like, it's damn near PlayStation 3 graphics.
Yeah.
And that was, what, 2010 or something? Way before, like, the Switch?
Yeah, it was about 9 or 10 or something like that. Yeah.
And it's a fantastic handheld system. And then Sony just said, and just threw it in the trash. There was so much potential. Its competitor was the 3DS, which looked like a PS1 game, a PS2 game.
Yeah.
You know, like they could have done so much. Either way.
I agree.
On the games that I found, this PS Vita game is the most expensive on the Sony side. Which it still pales in comparison to whatever Nintendo's got going on, but of the games I've talked about so far. So do you know the game The Binding of Isaac?
No.
It was a really popular indie game back in like 2007, 2008 kind of thing.
Okay.
And it was like a top-down shooter, and you went into like a room and you would get attacked by stuff. If you got killed, you had to start all the way at the beginning. It was really popular. And they made a PlayStation Vita version. And it was a digital-only game. However, there were a few copies that were made for press so that press could take them home, review the game, and then send that copy back and they would destroy it. A handful of those copies didn't end up getting destroyed.
Right.
So for this game, whether it's sealed or not, if you can find this game, it is $4,032.
That's crazy.
For this one little Vita game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's for a game that is, I think it's like $20 to buy Binding of Isaac. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the most popular indie games, so it's really easy to get a hold of. A lot of people have played it. To think that you could spend over $4,000 on that little indie game just because a few fell off the back of a truck, you know, so to speak, fell off the back of the truck.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. It kind of makes me sad a little bit because we're getting away from physical copy games.
Yeah, no, I predict by the next systems, the PS6, the Xbox 2, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, no more discs.
Yeah, I believe we're running within the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. It's going to be all digital, and I hate buying digital games. Like
they can just take them away from you.
Yeah, because if you do something that PlayStation or Xbox don't like, they'll block your whole account and all your games are gone.
Just gone.
Just gone forever.
thousands of dollars or whatever you've spent, no matter
Right.
how many digital games you've got, just gone. And it's not even that. Like, they just recently shut down the PlayStation 3 marketplace.
Yeah.
You can no longer buy a game on the PlayStation 3 marketplace, which means there's dozens of games that are just gone.
Yeah.
They were only released digitally specifically for the PS3. They never got ported to the PS4. They were never put on anything else.
Yeah.
Those games just disappeared.
Yeah.
They are no longer available.
And that shit just makes me sad, you know. Like, I was talking to one of my homeboys, and, you know, he was saying, like, how, you know, he should have kept all of his games. Mm-hmm. You know, now he wants to get into collecting now. And I'm like, just hang on to him, because he was saying, like, he had, like, all these, I think he had, like, a modded Xbox and had, like, thousands of games on it, which is cool to have, you know, just to play.
Yeah.
But, like, when you go to sell that, like, well, you get maybe $500 out of it, you know. But, like, just to have the physical copy of a game that, you know, is rare, and it's only a couple of them here. Here it go. It got the book, got everything is sealed. $50,000. That should have changed your fucking life.
For anybody who wants to get into game collecting,
Yeah.
I guess my my advice would be stop selling the games, and once a month at least, just go buy a new game.
Yeah.
You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to be like us where we drop a couple $100 on games every once in a while.
Right.
Just go buy a new game and don't sell it.
And for me and Eggs, you know, we do this, what, maybe like 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And we usually save it for like Comic-Con and probably like maybe like one of the 2 of the toy shows that we go to. And we usually budget about like $250. Sometimes we go in the deep end.
Sometimes it goes a little over. Yeah.
I've been in the deep end a couple of times.
Sometimes we show up and the card has to come out even though we got the $200 in cash.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. But let's get back into it. So this is another championship game. I had no idea this even existed. Blockbuster, the video store, actually came out with a World Video Game Championship.
Really?
I had no idea this was a thing.
Okay.
So the game was made by Acclaim. They was only divvied out to certain Blockbuster stores, and they had this contest who can get the most points in NBA Jams and Judge Dredd. Those are the only 2 games on there.
Okay. NBA Jam's a good game.
Right. Fantastic game.
It's a good game.
Like, I was playing that on my arcade. Oh, man. When you go on fire, it is so good. He's on fire. Oh, man. But there's only said to be 67 copies.
Okay.
So it's a couple of them that's still out there. I'm pretty sure people are holding on to them, or they have sold them. But in 2015, one cartridge was sold on eBay for $3,000.
Okay.
And then they said there was also one spotted at the Goodwill. Said the auction closed over $10,000.
Like someone walked into a Goodwill and found it and then sold it?
Yeah.
God, that's a fucking payday.
Yeah.
That's a fucking payday right there.
Yeah. But anything can happen. You know, you can put that bitch on eBay for $5,000. Bid. And let that bitch run up.
People who grew up with games are now adults.
Right.
And a small handful of them have money now and they want games.
Yeah.
And there's groups of people out there that are willing to pay absorbent amount of prices for just some game that they're not even going to play.
Yeah. It's just something that they're just going to put in the display case with some lights on it.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I got.
Yep.
Put some insurance on it. That's crazy, you know. And I said earlier that I wanted to, a pleasant surprise that made me fucking happy. So, I know a lot of people don't know that there were different Nintendo cartridges, 3-screw, 5-screw.
Yeah.
And I was going through it. I saw it I get like alerts when games go up in price or whatever. So it was a recent article that I read, and it said like, hey, if you have the 5-screw version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, is worth this.
How much?
So, which is a very pleasant surprise. I was like, shit, I have Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I'm pretty sure you just bought that like 2 years ago too.
Yes.
Because I think I was with you at one of the game conventions.
Yes.
Or a toy convention.
I spent $30 on that game.
Yeah.
It is $822.
Woo, that's up.
I went over there. I flipped that bitch over. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Winning.
I can see you just, woo!
Shit.
What?
Man, I was like, wow. I was so hyped, and I was like, I can't even call you right now. I have to say this for the podcast. But when I saw it, I was like, oh.
Yep.
I almost sold that bitch.
I wouldn't have blamed you.
I'm gonna hang on to it though. But if it was sealed, I got the open copy. But if it was sealed, $11,600.
Jesus.
Insane.
How do you even know it's a five screw if it's sealed?
You just don't. I don't know if it's on the box. I have no idea.
Yeah, so how do you know? There's probably a date or something.
Yeah.
But either way, we got to be wrapping this podcast up. We're going way over our time on this one.
This was fun.
This one's fun.
Please shout out to what was it? Sweetwater. Shout out to Appleton Estate. It was interesting today. Please follow us on all platforms. Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
TikTok.
Subscribe, comment, like. That helps us with the algorithm. We're trying to get to 100.
Trying to hit 100.
We're almost there.
Very close. I think we're at 90. So
yes,
we're getting close.
Just 10 people. Tell 10 of your friends and trying to get to 100.
Everybody listening, you tell one friend.
Yeah.
That's all we ask.
That's it. So, hey, I'm LSD.
Nah, I'm Eggs.
Peace.
See ya.